sun rose gently over Terminus Market in Yaws, and the usual noise of hawkers, moving keki, and gospel music on loudspeakers filled the air. Zainab Ibrahim, a lively 24-year-old with hoop earrings and a dreamer's heart, was setting up phone accessories in front of her stall. She smiled as she uploaded a selfie with her boyfriend on WhatsApp. Caption, "Find a man who believes in your dreams, like Bako believes in mine." Bako Danladi, calm and composed, was the type who wore turtlenecks in warm weather and quoted proverbs in casual talk. He had taught himself to code, taught his choir to sing in 4 parts, and now believed he could teach Zainab how to drive. "It's not that hard," he said, adjusting his glasses. "Left, right, stop, go. If you can use a blender, you can drive a car." Zainab giggled. "That's why I love you. You're brilliant." Later that evening in their Angwan Rukuba apartment, Zainab told her friends, Lami and Tari, about the new plan. "You what?" Lami asked, staring at her over a plate of beans. "Bako is going to teach me how to drive, free of charge," Zainab beamed. Tari paused her TikTok video. "My cousin did that. She's single now. She nearly crashed into a pure water truck on her second lesson. The guy jumped out and blocked her number." Zainab rolled her eyes. "Please, not every couple is cursed." Lami shook her head. "Just don't say we didn't warn you. Love doesn't pay LGA fines." Zainab smiled. "Relax. Bako is patient. I'm serious now. I want to drive." The next day, Bako arrived in his uncle's dusty silver Honda Civic. He had cleaned it thoroughly, even used air freshener. "Madam Driver," he said, opening the passenger door with a bow, "today you begin your journey to freedom." Zainab wore leggings and fresh sneakers, her hair tied up in a bun. She climbed into the driver's seat and adjusted the mirrors like she had seen in movies. "I'm ready." "All right," Bako said. "This is the brake. This is the clutch. That's the accelerator. Easy does it." Zainab nodded confidently, then promptly hit the accelerator instead of the clutch. The car lurched forward like a wounded goat. "Brake!" Bako shouted. "Which one is brake?" Zainab panicked. "The middle one. Middle of—" Before he could finish, she let go of everything. The car jerked and stopped. Silence. Bako placed a hand on his chest. "Zainab, you almost took me to my ancestors." Zainab frowned. "Don't shout at me." "I'm not shouting," he replied, clearly shouting. "I'm pleading for my life." Zainab turned her head away, arms folded. Maybe I should just go to a driving school. But deep inside, she didn't want to lose face. And neither did Bako want anyone else, especially that guy Ishaya from the market, to teach his girlfriend how to drive. So they agreed to continue. They both smiled, though the smiles were shaky. As they pulled away again, Bako muttered under his breath, "Dear Lord, let me survive this semester of love." The following morning, Zainab updated her status. Day 2 of driving with BAE. Pray for him. Her followers loved it, but behind the emojis, she was nervous. Yesterday's jolt had left her slightly shaken. Yet pride wouldn't let her quit. Bako, however, had slept with one eye open. He dreamed of brake pedals, growing wings, and flying away. Still, love plus ego made him show up. He couldn't imagine Ishaya, that boastful fake driver, teaching Zainab anything. They chose a new spot, an open school field near Rayfield Junction, surrounded by quiet roads and chirping birds. Bako handed her the key. "Today," he said, trying to sound upbeat, "we learn how to turn." Zainab nodded solemnly. "I watched YouTube videos last night." "Perfect," he said. "Move forward gently. Now turn left." She turned right. "Zainab," Bako blinked. "I said left." "I heard you," she replied, still going right. "Then why are you turning right?" "I thought it was my left." Bako leaned back and closed his eyes. "Raise your left hand." Zainab confidently raised her right hand. "Zainab!" Bako shouted. "Stop shouting!" she snapped. "You're making me confused." "No," he argued. "You are confusing the entire road system." Still they continued. She turned, wobbly, but progress, until they met a small bend. "Gently brake. Hold your steering tight," Bako instructed. Instead, she stomped the accelerator. The car lurched forward. "Brake!" he yelled, grabbing the side door. She slammed the horn instead. "Zainab, brake is light!" "Which one again is the brake?" Bako reached for the middle pedal himself. The car screeched and halted, half on the road, half on dusty gravel. Zainab stayed still, breathing hard, eyes wide. Bako exhaled like someone just escaping kidnap. "Zainab, don't shout at me. You were speeding toward a tree. It was your shouting that confused me. This isn't a crusade. You can't close your eyes and hope for a miracle." She folded her arms. "You said love is patient, but you're clearly not." He looked at her, chest heaving. "Zainab, this is not about love. This is about life expectancy." They drove home in silence. Zainab stared out the window like a Nollywood actress post-heartbreak. Bako kept muttering, "Brake is not optional. Brake is a calling." As they parked outside her compound, Zainab hissed, "Maybe I should just ask Ishaya." Bako turned sharply. "Ishaya? The one that failed his test 3 times? Well, at least he won't yell? Fine, go and meet him, but make sure you have insurance." She slammed the door and walked off. Bako sat alone in the car, clutching the steering like a trauma victim. That night, Bako couldn't sleep. He tossed and turned until 2:34 a.m., then dreamt he was at his own funeral. His framed photo sat beside a wreath. Bako Danladi, 1996-2025, driven to glory. The congregation cried. The pastor screamed, "Let this be a warning. Never teach your lover how to drive." In the dream, Zainab wore dark shades, whispered, "He should have trusted me, Shah," and walked off. He woke up drenched in sweat, grabbed his phone and typed, "Zainab, I love you, but this driving thing is bigger than me. Let's let a school handle it. My health is at stake." He deleted "My health is at stake" and rewrote, "My peace of mind matters too. I still love you." Then he tossed the phone and collapsed on his bed, breathing like a man who just escaped death. Morning in Angwan, Rukuba came with its usual sounds, grinding generators, children chasing water trucks, and Bako's phone buzzing relentlessly. Zainab had read his message at 6:12 a.m. Her smile vanished like Nipa light. She tried calling. He didn't pick. She typed furiously, "So one small mistake and you're abandoning me?" Bako replied with blunt honesty, "It wasn't small. You nearly drove me into Judgment Day. Twice." Zainab's fingers moved with fury. She sent, "If you won't teach me again, no wahala. I'll call Ashaya. This time I'm serious." That was all it took. Bako bolted upright, heartbeat tripling. "Ishaya? That guy with sunglasses at night and a reputation for shouting, 'I sabi drive' after 3 failed attempts?" "No, over his living body." He typed, "Fine, I'll continue. But one more nonsense, I'll leave you in the bush." Zainab grinned victoriously. "I knew he couldn't let me go," she whispered. Saturday arrived. Zainab stepped out in a black top and fresh white sneakers. She wore dark shades and chewed gum like a movie star about to conquer Hollywood. Bako, on the other hand, wore a white shirt and white trousers, just in case the angels needed to welcome him later that day. They drove quietly toward Lamingo Hills Road, past churches, goats, and pepper sellers. Zainab took the wheel at a quieter turn. She moved well, turned smoothly. Bako was amazed. "Wow," he said softly. "You're doing well." "I told you I was gifted," Zainab beamed. But fate was waiting. They approached a gentle curve. Bako said calmly, "Slow down and move a bit left." Zainab nodded, then hit the accelerator. Before Bako could blink, the car slammed into a black waste bin near the roadside. The bin rolled like a tire and spilled its contents: soggy tomatoes, used diapers, nylon bags, and 2 stunned rats. People gathered instantly. One old man with a toothpick yelled, "Today no waste bin, tomorrow no human being." Zainab stepped out slowly. Is that supposed to happen?" Bako was frozen. "You just jammed government property." "I was under pressure," Zainab said, rubbing her temple. Pressure node A, press accelerator, Bako snapped. You're blaming me again? Who else? I was begging for brake. You gave me bin. She folded her arms. You lack patience. Just small mistake. Bako raised his hands. Zainab, this is not small. You caused environmental pollution. People began filming with their phones. Zainab hissed. See, you're embarrassing me. No, you embarrassed physics and road safety? He got into the driver's seat. Enter the car. Now you want to drive? Given up on me already? No response. The ride back was silent. They passed the same street where Zainab once honked instead of braking. The same corner she'd turned right instead of left. And then suddenly, Bako swerved off into a narrow bush road lined with tall trees. Zainab sat up. Where are we going? No answer. Bako, this place looks like people disappear here. Still silence. The road grew tighter. No birds, no breeze, just potholes and dust. Zainab's throat tightened. Are you mad? Bako parked, turned off the engine, looked her in the eye and smiled calmly. Get down. What? Why? He gestured. You're driving again. Final test. Here. Why not at the Polytechnic? Bako pointed around. No distractions, no people, no bins, no rats. Just you and the road. Zainab hesitated. If I crash, what will happen? He smiled. Then at least it will be purposeful. Now listen carefully. Left is gutter. Right is bush. Stay in the middle. Middle is life. Zainab's eyes widened. Is this a threat? It's reality, he said like a villain in a Nigerian movie. Zainab was sweating. Bako, you finally lost it. He leaned back, buckled up tightly. Drive or we'll sleep here. Zainab shakily started the car. Dust swirled. Her foot tapped the pedal gently. The car moved. She tried hard to stay centered. Every turn was a prayer. A snake crossed. She screamed. A bird flapped across the windscreen. She gasped, but she kept going. After what felt like 1 hour, but was only 15 minutes, they emerged near the main junction. Zainab stopped the car, jumped out like a prisoner escaping Alcatraz. I'm done, she shouted. You almost killed me. She flagged down a bus, paid the conductor, and didn't look back. Inside the car, Bako sat silently. She didn't kill me, he whispered, and I didn't kill her. Thank you, Lord. He started the car and drove away, like a man who had survived war. Zainab stormed into the house like a whirlwind, dust in her hair, anger in her eyes, and sweat soaking through her armpits. She didn't even drop her bag. She went straight to the room she shared with Lami and Tari. The girls were lying on the bed watching skits on a phone, laughing, until they saw Zainab's face. Lami sat up first. Z, what happened? You look like someone that escaped ritual. Tari dropped her popcorn. Or Lasma chased you? Zainab threw her bag, slumped on the bed like a fallen plantain, arms wide open. That boy wants to kill me. Which boy? They asked together. Bako, she breathed. He took me to a bush to drive. Lami blinked. A what? Tari leaned forward. Like, real bush? Zainab sat up and began narrating from the beginning. Waste bin crash, public disgrace, and the final test on a narrow death road where left was gutter, right was bush, and the only safe way was driving on the narrow path of life. By the time she finished, Tari was laughing so hard she rolled off the bed, while Lami's mouth was wide open. So, Lami said slowly, he took you to the bush. To prove a point? Zainab nodded furiously. As if he's Angel Gabriel. Tari wiped tears of laughter. I said it from day one. Never learn to drive from someone you're dating. You're lucky he didn't abandon you in the forest. Zainab hissed. She picked up her phone and opened WhatsApp. Bako had called, twice. She ignored the missed calls and began to type. You carried me to a bush to finish me. I have never been so scared in my life. That was not love, Bako. That was madness. I'm done with you. She paused, then added one more line. Next time, enroll someone in driving school. Don't drag their soul to heaven. She hit send and without hesitation blocked his number. Then she collapsed into bed and sighed deeply. On the other side of town, Bako was sitting in his room, drinking kunu and thinking about life. When her message came in, his eyes narrowed. "Oh, so she's angry now," he muttered. He reread her message and scoffed. "I told her not to press horn instead of brake. I told her. She jammed a government waste bin. She almost ran into the bush. And I'm the mad one?" Still, his fingers moved. He typed, "Oh, so now you understand what it feels like when someone's life is in danger. Since Tuesday, I've been dreaming of my funeral." He hit send. Nothing. No blue tick. Then the horror hit him. She blocked me? She blocked me? He stared at his phone like it had betrayed him, then leaned back on the bed and sighed. Well, thank God I survived. 6 months later, Zainab was a different woman. Gone were the bush roads and emotional driving tests. She had enrolled at Yos Polytechnic Driving School, where Malam Bello, a calm and smiling instructor, had taught her with grace. The first time she mounted a pavement, he just smiled and said, "You missed it, but it's okay. Let's try again." No shouting, no spiritual threats, no funerals. By week 2, she was reversing confidently. By week 4, she could handle small traffic. She never mentioned Bako again. Bako, too, moved on. After Zainab blocked him, he poured himself into his IT work, told everyone he wasn't looking for love again, and joined a new Bible study group. That's where he met Temi Adebayo, a gentle soprano singer. One evening after choir rehearsal, Temi offered to drive them to a fellowship. "You drive?" Bako asked, blinking. She smiled and handed him her license. 4 years now. Bako almost cried. "Lord, you have delivered me." One Friday evening, fate played a little trick. Bako and Temi were at a red light on Standard Roundabout, waiting. Another car rolled to a stop beside them. Bako turned his head and froze. It was Zainab. She had one hand on the steering, the other resting on the window. Her sunglasses gleamed in the last light of sunset. She looked ahead, then sideways, and gave him a small wave. He nodded politely. The light turned green. "Oh." Zainab drove off, smooth, confident, and composed. Temi asked, "You know her?" Bako smiled faintly. "Yes, she once drove me to the edge of glory." Later that night, Zainab posted on her status, "Never learn life skills from people you're emotionally attached to. Not every lesson should be taught by love." Lami replied, "God bless the man that invented driving school."